Hi there everyone, and welcome to Big Oggy Golf. Today I was going to be playing out on the course, but the weather set in quite badly, and being this size I find getting hold of any wet weather gear is rather difficult. So that was kind of postponed today. So I thought, well, let's do what most of the golf YouTubers do in the end. Let's do a what's in the bag video. So first of all, let's discuss the bag. Currently I have two bags. This is the main one that I use now. It's a traditional stand bag with its legs. And the reason I use that is because I spend more time practicing than I do actually playing, I guess. And although I've got a big heavy cart bag, it's, well, exactly that, too heavy. And I find that means I have to get my proper trolley out and then to get the battery organised and everything. So I tend to just take this one everywhere I go. And then if I want to stick this on the trolley, I can just tie up the legs and then strap this one to the trolley instead. So where do we start? Well, currently I've got 13 clubs. Now I believe 14 is the limit. So at the moment I'm still missing one, I guess, if I need one. And I need to kind of have a think about what I need for that. I've got an awful lot of wedges and stuff for short game. So I think it's going to be somewhere in the gapping area, somewhere between driver and 5 iron really. But maybe we'll come to that later. Or possibly once you've watched this video, you can suggest a possibility for me to use to fit in those gaps. So let's start with the big boys. Currently, take out my alignment sticks. As I said, a lot of practice. Maybe we'll do a video about alignment sticks. Fantastic piece of training kit. Put it down. First of all, my intention was when I started golf, how long now? It's around about September, October last year, that I would buy my irons and get them custom fitted. However, at the time, money was an issue, so it was a question of getting the rest of my clubs second hand, really. And then making do, and, well, with the drivers especially, hitting the hell out of them, and then if I damaged them, it didn't really matter too much, and then get something new as we progress. However, that hasn't happened yet, but if you saw one of my other videos recently about custom fitting, you will know that this is my driver at the moment. It's a TaylorMade R15. There you go. And I bought this second hand. It's got a Speeder 57 shaft in it, regular shaft. And up until recently I was struggling with it. It's a 10.5 degrees. However, in the video that you may have seen, I also have quite a natural draw swing, but I also have a bad hook as well in the same direction. So it's now been adjusted. It's been upgraded on its loft to 11.5, which is the highest it can go. And the weights have been changed around to fade. And I have to admit, it's working rather well. I was certainly a bit worried about trying it out the other day, but the opportunity came along, and the first couple of hits, yeah, they were rubbish. But when I relaxed and the nerves kind of faded, every shot straight, and probably just over 200 yards. So for me, with my swing at the moment, that's pretty good. And a lot of people actually commented who were playing with me that they hadn't seen me hit the ball so straight. So at the moment, it stays in the bag. So, next one down at the moment is another R15. This is a 3-wood and in a 15-degree loft, and it's still set at the standard loft. Again with the same Speeder 67 regular flex shaft, but this time it's got a lambkin grip on it. Quite a wide, oversized lambkin grip. The other one, sorry I forgot to say, the other one Has a Super Stroke, pretty much oversized grip as well. But I've got big hands, so that kind of works for me anyway. And up until a few weeks ago, I never tried this club. I was kind of scared of it. The driver I couldn't hit, and hey, the driver is a big club. If I couldn't hit a driver, how could I ever hit one of these? It's smaller. But once I started using it, I suddenly realized that actually it was easier to hit. The loft is slightly higher, and maybe it fitted my swing better. But I was constantly actually out driving the people I was playing with, and that was with just the 3-wood. So until the driver was changed and adjusted recently, this was my go-to club for anything off the tee at any kind of distance. Now, I used to have a 5-wood as well, but again I was scared of woods. And as you'll see in a minute, my irons only go up to a 5-iron. So I needed something in between. And I got custom fitted for this one. This is a Titleist H1 816. And I have to say, this is probably my favourite club. Every time, whether I'm on a fairway or whether I'm in light or even medium rough, to be honest, I take this one out and I hit it pretty well. The ball tends to stay fairly low, but that tends to be also what I tend to do with all my shots. But it goes straight and it goes far. And I love this club, and I'm thinking, at the moment this is a 23 degree, and so this kind of fits in the gaps really for my 4-iron. So maybe I need to think up a possibility of getting another hybrid for, say, between my 3-wood and this one, or maybe actually between my 5-iron and this one. Not sure yet. And to be honest, as a beginner, I have to take advice from people who know better than I do. So we'll wait and see what happens. But this is one of my newest clubs, and I love it. Absolutely love it. So we go down to irons. Now, the important thing I wanted to do when I got my irons was I wanted them custom fitted from the start. I made a little bit of money and managed to afford to get it done in one go. So I wanted a set that would grow into me, really. I wanted clubs that were giving me confidence. It wasn't about always being completely forgiving either. It was about having some forgiveness, but also something that as I improved, I knew that it was me improving and the club was perfect for me. And they would actually give me some longevity. You know, most of us can't afford to keep changing our clubs every year and buying new ones. So I wanted some irons that would last me for a few years, and I knew that, yeah, I could grow into them. So I went to Mizuno. Now I've always had a bit of an affinity with Japan. I've been to Japan quite a few times, and I love the way that the Japanese think about things and how they create stuff, everything from samurai swords to works of art. And I watched a lot of the videos about Mizuno and how they forge their clubs, and to me, that just got into my mindset, really. And to be honest, one of my heroes over the years has been Nick Faldo, so my first choice, was going to be Mizuno for irons. So what have we got? Well, my longer irons, my 5 and 6, are in Mizuno JPX 900. They're all my irons JPX 900 series, but these are the JPX 900 Hot Metal. Hopefully you can see that. And the reason we picked Hot Metal for the first couple were because, well, they're a little bit more forgiving and they get a little bit more distance as well. I tend to find when you hit these, the ball goes higher and there's a little bit stronger in distance as well. So yeah, beautiful club. Now these are all quite heavy. They're True Temper XP 115 shafts, and that's to slow my swing down a little bit. I tend to lose control when I swing too fast. And all the grips are Golf Pride medium-sized grips. So again, I think they're slightly wider than most people's. So that's those, that's 5 and 6. Now we then go 7, 8, 9 and a pitching wedge. And these I decided again with the same True Temper XP 115 shafts. However, instead of going for the hot metal series, you can kind of fit a set of JPX 900 in all the different versions. So I went for the forged in the rest of these, and hopefully that then will give me a little better feel when I'm actually learning the game, and also makes me feel confident about them, makes me feel that as I improve, this club is designed for me. So maybe when I get to being that medium handicapper, these will still be in my bag. So again, longevity really. Now, wedges, I have 3 wedges, apart from the pitching wedge. I have these, and again they were gapped in the same way. I think there's 5-degree difference between the pitching wedge, and then I have a 50, a 55 and 60 for my lob wedge. And these are Mizuno T7s. Not sure if that's going to focus or not. There we go. So these are Mizuno T7 wedges, and they're in blue. Again, the same shafts as the other ones, but I rather like the blue, and trust me, I've had them hand stamped with my own name. And I find the blue is lovely to actually see when you're looking down on the ball. And strangely enough, the more you play with them, the more the colour kind of fades off the sole of the club. And again, for me, that's just a really nice aesthetic look. So I'm still learning with the wedges, and I must admit, it's taken me a bit of getting used to actually work out distances and hit decent shots with proper wedges as opposed to a pitching wedge. But I'm learning every day. Now, finally, this is my newest club, and it's my putter. Now, when I started, I was given a putter, well, I bought a second-hand putter from one of the coaches that I was training with, and he had a second-hand one that he was getting rid of, and basically the reason I bought it was because it was the right length. It was a 35-inch, I think, and I tried it and I practiced with it, and things seemed to be going okay until I got on a course properly, really. And then I couldn't believe how fast the greens were, and I just seemed to have no control. Now, I know I'm a beginner, but I describe it, and I actually describe it when I got custom fitted for this one, as trying to swing a club hammer on the end of a stick. So the shots were either way too short or so hard they just flew over the green. So I went and got custom fitted recently for my putter, and we decided that after testing, the first problem I had was that the putter I had was a spider mallet, a TaylorMade spider mallet, and it was designed really for people who had a rather straight swing, and my swing is slightly curved. So I was always kind of fighting with the club in the first place, and that kind of made sense. So I traded it in, and again, the plan is that I have longevity with my clubs. So I went for Scotty Cameron. This is a Scotty Cameron toe weighted club, and it's a Newport 2. It's a Scotty Cameron Select Newport 2. There we go. And again, I think because I'm an artist, I just felt it was a work of art in itself. So I had a kind of, again, an affinity with it. And I'm loving this club. I'm starting to hit really good putts, and my distance control has improved no end. So that's my club so far. Now, if you can think of a suggestion to fit into my bag, as I said, for the extra club that I can have, let me know. Balls, that's what I've got for balls, sorry. Golf balls, of course. Now, when I first started, basically I was told to use anything, and that's fair enough. You know, I wasn't hitting particularly straight. And then I had an idea to try the Callaway TrueViz in different colours, the white and red and the yellow and black. mainly because I do have, well, I don't have the greatest eyesight at times, and I thought that when I was looking down at the ball, these actually look slightly larger. It's kind of an optical illusion, and that does actually work. I also, at the time, thought that a softer ball would be more, that would mean more control on the greens. But my problem with these, they're like camouflage. I've been out with 3 other people in a 4-ball, and I've hit a shot, and if I've mishit it, it may have even only gone 50 yards into thick grass or thick rough. And can we find them? Never. They just disappear. You never see them again. So I thought about it. I thought all the other different colours, and in the end I went back traditional white. And I thought I would try Titleist. I love the new Titleist hybrid. I love the Scotty Cameron putter, and I kind of never really thought that Titleist would be good for kind of beginners. I always thought they were the more pros and low handicap people, but the more I play with their clubs, the more I look at their clubs and their designs, the more I realise that actually that's not true, and I think I'm starting to become a bit of a Titleist fan. So I can imagine there's going to be a fair number of changes going on in my bag in the next, well, year or so as I develop. But currently I play Titleist Pro V1, and I play the Pro V1 X. See that? Now I'm going to do a review of why I play a Titleist Pro V1 X in the next week or so. But for now, I really love this ball. One, yes, they're more expensive, so you do tend to look harder for them. But I don't really lose many of them. They're easy to see. I'm getting great distance with them. And strangely enough, even though it's a harder ball, I'm getting really good feel on the greens. Again, my distances are getting better. And when I putt, I actually like when you get a kind of a ping that comes off the club when you're striking it, even when you're putting. And for me, that just feels right, really. And I think that's it about golf. I think with golf, things need to feel right. You need to feel confident in the stuff you use, in the clubs you use, in the ball you use, and the other equipment. And then you know that mistakes are yours. You know, even the pros, they're going around swapping clubs all the time, swapping putters even between rounds or during rounds. In the end, who makes the mistakes? You do. The club has no idea what it's doing, only that you control it. So it's not the club's fault, it's our fault. So yeah, confidence is key for me. So once again, thank you very much. Hope this was vaguely informative for you. I did my best. There'll be competitions next week starting as well. So we have some good news, and I'll put that on the next video. But once again, thanks very much. Please subscribe, please give a thumbs up, and follow me here on YouTube and Twitter, Instagram, all the other usual social media. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now, everyone. Thanks for watching.